Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. So yeah, in this video I am going to go through all of the Blu-ray pickups for November 2023. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So quite a lot of 4K pickups this month, some old, some new. But the first one we have here is Red Heat. So yeah, this is probably one of Arnie's more forgotten movies. This one came out in 1988. And the reason why I picked this up is I got it from CEX and it was fairly cheap. And I just wanted to give this movie a rewatch because it's been a few years since I'd seen it. It never used to be one of my favourite Arnie films. It still isn't really one of my favourites, to be fair. I think the character he plays in it is a little bit dull. I don't think the chemistry quite works between Arnie and Jim Belushi. But it is a Walter Hill movie and it does have some really good action scenes in it. It's got that gritty, realistic style that you normally get with Walter Hill. It is a good movie. It's just not one of my personal favourites, but it's still a solid film, and that is Red Heat. Next up, we have The Fugitive on 4K. And yeah, this was a day one purchase for me because this is one of my all-time favourite movies. Just a classic 90s thriller starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. Real edge of your seat stuff, just such an exciting movie and looks absolutely great on 4K. So yeah, that is The Fugitive. I picked this one up in the Black Friday sale and it is Escape from LA. This is the sort of the 4K collector's edition version. I think when this first came out it was about £35, but I didn't get it at the time because I just didn't think it was really worth the price, and it ended up going down to about £15, and I thought, yeah, I'll get it. I've never always been the biggest fan of this movie. It always just kind of felt like a lazy sort of remake to Escape from New York, but I've got to admit, after giving this a rewatch, I had such a good time with it. I had a much better time with it than I thought I would. It's just a fun movie. It's your typical John Carpenter movie. You know, his movies are always fun more than anything else. And this one, you know, is definitely a fun one. It is flawed. It's got its problems. But like I said, I just had a much better time with it on a rewatch. And it looks great on 4K. So yeah, that is Escape from LA. Next up, we have a new release from Arrow Video. And we have Black Hat, starring Chris Hemsworth and directed by Michael Mann, who is probably best known for directing Heat, Last of the Mohicans, Manhunter, Thief, and so many other great films. He's a great director, and this is actually his most recent film, and it's a movie that doesn't really seem to get a lot of love, but when I watched this maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time with it, so I was very excited when Arrow announced this one. What's great about this release is you get the director's cut of the movie, which I don't think has ever really been seen before, and apparently it is a better cut of the movie. The only problem is it's only on Blu-ray, not on 4K, but you do get the other cuts of the movie on 4K. But yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching this one because I had a good time with it. I think it's very underrated. So yeah, that is Black Hat. Next up, we have another new release from Arrow Video, and we have Tremors 2 Aftershocks. This is the limited edition 4K version. And yeah, I was very excited when they announced this one because I've always had a soft spot for this sequel to Tremors. Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as the first movie, but it's still a really solid sequel, even though it is direct-to-video. It doesn't really feel like it, and yeah, it's just a really enjoyable movie. It has more of a Jurassic Park kind of vibe to it than the first Tremors film. It has maybe some dodgy CGI in there, but it's still mostly practical effects, and yeah, like I said, it's just a fun movie, and I'm really, really glad that Arrow released this one. So yeah, that is Tremors 2. Next up, we have a new release from Eureka Video, and we have Heroes and Villains, 3 films starring Jet Li. Yeah, I picked this up mainly because I've never been the biggest Jet Li fan, but there's a lot of his movies that I still have not seen, and I'd not seen any of the films in this set. And in this set, you get The Enforcer, you got Dr. Way in The Scripture with No Words, and you get Hitman. And I enjoyed all 3 of these movies. The middle movie in particular, The Scripture with No Words, I just had a blast with that one. Had a sort of an Indiana Jones kind of feel to it. The other 2 movies were a bit more modern day thrillers, but yeah, all 3 of them were just great. And yeah, my appreciation for Jet Li has definitely shot up since watching these 3 movies. So yeah, it's a fantastic set from Eureka Video, and that is the 3 films starring Jet Li collection. Next up, we have a new release from 88 Films, and we have The Long Arm of the Law Parts 1 and 2 collection. Yeah, these were two fantastic movies. I'd never even heard of them before 88 Films announced them, but yeah, they were fantastic. The first one's basically about this group of former Chinese soldiers from mainland China who cross into Hong Kong and basically decide to go on a crime spree. And then the second movie is about these free prison convicts who are hired by the police department to go undercover and infiltrate these gangs. And yeah, they're just two really gritty, violent, dark crime dramas, if you like. But they were fantastic. The first movie in particular has a brilliant finale, really great action, and yeah, the second one is also really, really good. But yeah, both films were just absolutely fantastic, and that is The Long Arm of the Law collection. Right, so the next few movies I have here are all Christmas movies. Obviously, we're in December now. Christmas is right around the corner, and I decided, yeah, I'll just get some Christmas movies, try and get in the Christmas spirit. And the first two that I have here are Home Alone 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Yeah, these are two absolute Christmas staples for me. I remember seeing these films when I was a kid. And I just love them. I watch them every Christmas. But for some reason, I've never owned these movies on physical. I think the last time I had these movies on physical was back in the VHS days. I think for the last few years now, whenever I've watched these movies, it's normally just been, when they've been on TV, because you're always guaranteed to see these movies on TV at some point in December. But I decided to get them on Blu-ray because, now I can just watch them whenever I please. And yeah, I love these movies and I should have them in the collection. But yeah, I don't need to say too much about them. Just two great classic Christmas movies. And yeah, they're just a lot of fun. So yeah, that is Home Alone 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Next up, we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on 4K. And yeah, I picked this up because it was $9.99 with any purchase in HMV, and I thought, yeah, why not? I enjoyed this movie. It's fun. It's got some funny moments in it. It's not my favourite vacation film for me. I still prefer the first one, but obviously this is a Christmas movie, and you have to watch it in December. But it's a solid sequel, if you like. It's better than European Vacation, but just not quite as good as the first Vacation movie for me, but still a really fun movie to watch at Christmas. So yeah, that is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Next up, we have Scrooged on 4K. Yeah, this is a new release, a new 4K release, and one that I had to get on day one. This is my all-time favourite Christmas movie. If you don't know, it's basically a modern-day retelling of the Christmas Carol story, with Bill Murray playing a sort of a Scrooge-like character. But in this one, he's a TV executive. And yeah, if you know the Christmas Carol story, you'll probably know where this movie goes, but it's just so fun. It's so creative. There's some real mad stuff in this movie, and Bill Murray's just great in it. It's a very funny movie, but it's got that sort of that cheery Christmas spirit to it as well. And yeah, I had to get this one on 4K. So yeah, that is Scrooged. Next up, we have Trading Places on 4K. Again, another movie that has just recently come out on 4K, and one that I had to get on day one. This is one of my all-time favourite comedies from the 80s. Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy are just fantastic in it. You've also got Jamie Lee Curtis in there, and she's great in it. It's a different kind of role for her, because I think at the time she was mainly known for horror movies, and this was kind of essentially her breakout role in Trading Places. It is kind of a Christmas movie, but I wouldn't say it's a full-on Christmas movie. There's only a few parts of the film that take place during Christmas, but then the rest of the film kind of takes place after Christmas. But I can see why people would think this is a Christmas movie, because it definitely does have that look and feel to it. But yeah, like I said, just a great comedy from the 80s, and that is Trading Places on 4K. And then the last pickup for November is another Christmas movie, although this is a slightly different kind of Christmas movie, but it is Black Christmas, and this is the 4K release from Scream Factory. And yeah, this is a classic horror movie from 1974. It's basically about this group of college girls who are living in this house, and they're being stalked by this killer, and it takes place during the Christmas season. But even though it's quite a dark, creepy horror movie, it does have that Christmassy kind of vibe to it, so it's always quite fun to watch during the Christmas period. It's one of those great movies to watch like really late at night, you know, sort of in the week leading up to Christmas. But yeah, it's a fantastic horror movie, very underrated, very, very creepy. One of the more creepy slasher movies out there, in my opinion. But yeah, I haven't checked out the 4K yet, because I'm waiting until it gets a bit closer to Christmas before I rewatch this one. But yeah, fantastic horror movie, and that is Black Christmas. So there you go, guys. Those are all my pickups for November 2023. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of these movies. Have you picked up any of these releases? I would love to hear your thoughts. But until then, I will leave the video there. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.